Good morning, all. Here we are for our Draft Stars. Last two games of the round on the Sunday here. Dogs v Cowboys, Tigers v Knights. And I'm very interested in the Dogs-Cowboys one. I actually think it'll be fairly close. And Tigers v Knights, you'd expect the Tigers to win. But I also think that, with them having a few players out, it could be a little bit closer. But there are a few players in that Tigers team who I'm really going to be focusing in on. And I think are players you need to go all in on in this matchup. So, we start with the outside backs as always, and Val Holmes is a clear top pick this week, averaging 61 and just continuing to hit at a minimum 42.8 over his last 6 games. So if he can hit anywhere above that, and obviously has that upside in the 60s and 70s, then he's going to be the player that you need in your team this week. Guys like Dane Laurie and Addo Carr are in that very similar bracket. I think Laurie is probably more important considering he is coming up against a Newcastle team, which is a little bit weaker than some of the other teams he's faced of recent time. Obviously, he's got some 30s out of that last 4 and a 74.4 in there. So he's starting to play really well, I believe, since he's getting a string and a bunch of games together. And I think this is the time that you might be able to pick him up. But 14,000 is a little bit expensive, just based off that one big score. I think they've really bumped up his salary there. And obviously, similar to Addo Carr, I think he can be the one to get that really big score in amongst some 30s as well. So him against the Cowboys, how's he going to go? I'm not exactly sure, but I think you can probably pick one of those two guys, along with Jacob Kraz, who's been playing super of recent time. He had that 90.9 with the 3 tries last week. Again, won't be expecting that, but he does have that upside in that 70 and the 56 there. So 3 of the last 6 games, he's hit over that 55 mark, which is incredible for a player that's priced at 12,980. So he's definitely a solid one to pick up as well. You look at guys like Stafford Toa, and you see the scores here are really, really strong and really consistent. So 12,000 as well. He could be a sneaky one in that Tigers v the Newcastle game. And then moving down the line is guys like Braden Burns, who are very interesting as well. The last 3 games, you're getting scores of 36 plus, which for 11,000 is definitely serviceable, that's for sure. And then down lower from there, there's really not too many to select, I would say. So we'll move on to the halves and the hookers. And up top here, we've got Burton and Dewey. And I really think Dewey is a must-have in this game, and I'm expecting something above a 70 for him, considering he's going to have to do the majority of the work here. They have Hastings out injured now. There's no Luke Brooks. It's him and Jock Madden, and we've seen what Dewey did last week. He's obviously kicking goals as well, so he has the whole plethora. He runs the ball. He's going to kick big meters and hopefully put on a bunch of the tries as well. And up against Newcastle, who at least this game will be definitely close at a minimum, or there's a good chance that the Tigers will win. I think that Dewey is in a great spot to come out and dominate. Burton's going to be solid. He's up against the Cowboys though, so I'm expecting more of a 50, 55 than an 80 in this game. Someone like Robson or Jeremy Marshall-King are also going to be great, sitting at that nice price there at 19,000 for Jeremy. You can get somewhere over a 50 for him. You'd be really happy with that. If we're looking down the line, there's really no one else to select, so I think you've got to go pretty high and spend up pretty big on this position, unless you're looking for someone like Dearden if you think he can go 3 in a row. Because before that, he was definitely not an option. The last 2 weeks, he's shown that he's been playing really, really well. Obviously, some of this is coming off the back of him playing Origin, so maybe he's got a little bit more confidence from there, and I think that he could come out and do all right. And you see Chatty's scoring solidly as well. But that would be the only real players I'd be going for. You have Jock Madden, who's a potential option as well. We'll see how that split goes, and if he can get a try or set up something there, he should be able to get close to that 40, and could be someone that you use in your flex. On the forward side, up top, I only think there's 2 you can select from: Offengawe and Jeremiah Nanai. Both those guys have been super over the last bunch of weeks. Offengawe's scuffled a little bit 3 weeks ago, but the 54s from there, you're obviously looking for a little bit higher. So if you don't think that 54, 55 consistently is enough, then probably go for someone else. And Jeremiah Nanai has obviously more upside, considering he can hit around that 40 mark, and then has 4 of his last 6 games over that 63 mark. So he's definitely someone that you could look to select as well at 20,000 this week. I'd be skipping the next bunch. Even Ruben Cotter, he should be off the bench. But Max King's the next guy I want to look at. And a 44 is his lowest in the last, 8 weeks there. So he's someone that at that price, I think if you can get 44 plus, you're going to be pretty happy with that. Someone like Paul Vaughan as well has been scoring really well. So he's someone that you can plug in and potentially get a 50 every second week. So a little bit of luck on that side. Tuolangi's been playing a lot better. So 43.5 in his lowest in his last 3. Again, for 15k, but getting him a lot more expensive than he was of previous time. But the must-haves start coming now. We have Alex Seyfarth, who had a massive game last week. Big tackles, ran the ball a little bit, but 65 points at 14,000. He's really bumped up his price. So Seyfarth, I think, is a must-have, along with Jackson Torpeny, who came in and played his first game of the season, got 80 minutes on the edge and picked up a 68.2. So he was really special, and a 13k, you need to get him in your side ASAP. Two other guys I'd be interested in are Lucy Leilua, who could potentially get some decent minutes again off the bench. So 45.3 last week was just to do with the fact that he got 50 odd minutes. So if he can get anywhere around that 50 minutes again, he's going to be great. And then Fonua Pole, so he is getting the 13 role this week, and it looks like probably a 45-minute role, 50-minute role potentially. So if he can get anywhere near that, I think he's due for close to a 40-point effort. So I think that's definitely worth it at 12,000. And then you got someone like Brodie Jones, who's been moved back to the edge, and these are the scores back here: 37, 34, 43, 41 when he was playing at big minutes, 68, 65 to 80 minutes on the edge. So just under 12k, he could be a sneaky one as well. And then you've got a couple of guys here like Jermaine Tanua-Brown, who is a little bit up and down in his scoring, and you've got Harrison Edwards, who played big minutes last week off the bench. And if he can do that again, then he could get a decent score. If you need someone at that cheaper price and you want to take a little bit of a risk, then Edwards could be that guy. So that is that video, guys. I hope you enjoyed that one. Got plenty out of it, ready for today's contest. Jump in that description below, hit the sign up link, and like and subscribe this video. I would really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next few videos. See you later.